Hey everybody, I don't really know what the point or purpose of this video is as I'm recording it. It's just kind of a thing that I had in my head that I thought might be worth making a video about. I feel like I need to be upfront about this stuff because it's the kind of thing that I feel like a lot of people who are into this might be dealing with, or something that could happen on occasion. And also, I kind of feel like I need to hold myself accountable. I've made jokes about this in previous videos and I commented on it in the past on the Discord, but I'm legitimately concerned that I've developed a problem when it comes to buying toys. And I know it sounds silly, but I'm being serious here. I've been kind of going outside of my means when it comes to buying stuff for a while now, and it doesn't feel great. I love the collection. I've got some really great stuff in it, and I don't hate that I'm into toys now, but the amount of money that I've been spending is not great. It's not that I've you know, driven us to destitution or anything like that because of being irresponsible with toy purchases, but when you're living paycheck to paycheck, month to month, it's really not good to spend that kind of money on toys all the time. It's kind of like a perpetuating cycle, I guess, where I feel bad because things feel like they're out of control, things feel hopeless because how are we ever going to get out of here? We do actually want to move. We're sick of this place, or at least I'm sick of this place. How do you do that when it's so hard to pay down your bills and stuff like that? And then I end up spending all this money on toys because buying toys makes me feel nice, and then that just makes it worse. It's just gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand a couple of times since I've started doing this. I've generally managed to rein it back in, and I feel like I'm starting to rein it back in now. I say after spending like $200 on more toys just a few days ago. My intention is to rein it back in again anyway, and I guess one of my hopes is by making this video and kind of being much more public about it and explaining how I've got this problem that I've made for myself, that I am able to kind of keep myself in check a little bit better. Because now I've got public shame to worry about. It kind of almost feels like an addiction, and I don't mean that in a way that downplays real addiction that's really terrible, like substance abuse, that kind of stuff. Like, that's horrible stuff, and if you're dealing with that, definitely, if you're able, seek help. It has that kind of perpetuating addiction to it. Not to that same degree, obviously, or with that same amount of damage that it can cause. But lately it's been feeling like I've gotten more addicted to the thrill of ordering something new, waiting for it to arrive, having it show up, opening the thing up, and having this new toy to mess around with for the first time, than I am actually enjoying the toys themselves. Like, just the process of ordering and getting it delivered and then checking it out is the thing that's been driving me lately, and that's probably not healthy. And again, I don't say this as a way to compare this to, people who are dealing with real serious addiction problems. It's just kind of got that vibe to it, and I feel like it's probably important that I make more concerted effort to do something about it now before it gets even more out of hand. Sometimes the cycle would be I'd buy some stuff, feel terrible, or bills would be looming, and suddenly I'd start to panic and I'd start panic selling stuff. Sometimes I'd panic sell stuff I didn't actually want to sell but felt I had to. Other times I would panic list things and they wouldn't sell, and then be like, well, now what? And then I would feel bad for a while, then I'd feel relief once all the bills were taken care of, and then I'd start buying more stuff because now there's no panic anymore. And it's just this big perpetuating cycle that I really need to break. This is not me saying I'm not going to be getting more toys or looking at more toys for the channel or anything like that. I've still got a lot of stuff that I haven't talked about, and stuff that I have talked about that I could talk about again in a different capacity, but I really do need to be much, much more strict with myself when it comes to buying new stuff for a while. And again, that's not to say I won't be buying new stuff. I just need to really, really rein it in. It's a big thing that I'm trying to do now, and I guess I'm talking about this again to just kind of get it out of my head, and also in case anyone else is struggling with it, to just let you know you're not alone. But the thing that I'm kind of planning on doing now is I'm trying to avoid looking at websites that sell toys like eBay, Big Bad Toy Store, TF Direct, Shozy, all that stuff. I'm basically trying to keep myself away from those sites because if I don't see stuff that I want, then there's no temptation. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I feel like it's worked in the past to an extent, but then I inevitably, fall back into my old habits and end up in this situation again. So we're trying to pay off a bunch of bills and work down our debt and save up so that we can get a house. And that's not going to happen if I'm constantly spending hundreds of dollars a month on toys. Probably a bit of a mistake to sit down and record this after having a bit of a rough time mentally over the last couple of days, but I guess there's a part of me that also feels like, despite the more friendly and untroubled face that I put on most of the time, that sometimes it's important to be more open and honest with you all, and by extension myself. This is so rambly and all over the place. I guess I just hope, in addition to getting all of this out in the open and I guess off my chest in a way, I hope that if any of you watching this are dealing with similar problems, it helps you to understand that you're not alone. And I feel like if we're willing to admit that it's a problem, then we can start taking steps to take care of it. That could involve simply taking yourself to task more often when it comes to this kind of stuff, or possibly getting other people involved. That element of shame ends up kind of making it worse, at least for me, where I start feeling ashamed of it, and that just makes me feel bad. And so to make myself feel better, it's like, oh, let's buy more toys. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop it here. Like I said, I don't know what else I can say about it, but just know that if you're dealing with something similar, you are not alone, and hopefully we can all figure out a way to deal with this issue if we are in fact dealing with it. And yeah.